Hey everybody, it's Jillian. So, I'm in the process of writing the beginning of my book, and I saw that Dustin Diamond from my childhood, who was one of the stars of Saved by the Bell, passed away from cancer. And he needs to be an example that you don't have to die from cancer. The thing what cancer is, it's basically, like I said, agonist antibodies coagulating in the system, in the body. Agonist antibodies are basically the viral proteins that are trying to upgrade the deficiencies in the body, and it's trying to now replicate as fast as it can because it wants to live, right? I mean, the body wants to live. And when you have deficiencies, the body's going to try to promote life in the areas that are deficient. And so when a person doesn't have what it takes for that biomolecular thermodynamics, yes, it's going to rapidly deplete their resources, especially when they have malabsorption. But then also, too, the different therapeutics like chemotherapy and radiation and cannabis and all the different detoxes and antibiotics and antifungals and anti-everything is what's going to cause a person to deteriorate rapidly. And then more viruses in the environment are then going to cause more agonist antibodies to promote more life and promote more upgrading, of which more agonist antibodies are going to be in the system. And the person isn't releasing at an exponential rate, and they're not rebuilding simultaneously. And so this is why a person dies from stage 4 cancer. See, stage 1 cancer is basically the body saying, okay, it's trying to live and you're not supporting it correctly. Stage 2 cancer is like, hello, you're not supporting me correctly, and you're also applying antifungals, antibiotics, antivirals, and chemotherapy and other types of protocols, such as imbalanced diet, to then try to combat it and try to stop the evolution. And then it further depletes the person. And then this is why people who overcame cancer are now wanting to get vaccinated, because they don't want to deal with more action potential from the new viruses in the environment. But then what happens is then the new virus comes in to the body, and the person is still exposed to all the different viruses in the environment. And then those viral or those antibodies in the vaccines are doing a search and destroy, destroying any type of evolution in the body. Because that's what viruses are. That's what cancer is, basically evolution. That's why cancer is the number one thing that destroys people. Because the body is actively destroying itself because of your belief systems and your practices. And then you're not able to survive that evolutionary upgrade. Okay? So Dustin Diamond didn't have to die. Those of you that are dealing with cancer or have cancer in your past, that's just an indicator that your body is deficient and that you're seeing more life being promoted than you're able to handle. And you're going to see an uptick of more people dying from cancer. You're going to see an uptick of more people having more complications because of the new viruses in the environment, and then also how you react to them. See, it's a twofold thing. It's one thing to be exposed to viruses, but it's another to then react to it with antifungals, antiparasitics, antivirals, antibiotics, antibacterials. And then you're essentially just progressively taking the energy, taking the life force out of your body. And then one day, yeah, you have heart failure. One day you have organ failure. Okay? So, why people die from heart attacks? Because of all the different agonist antibodies and antagonist antibodies clogging up the arteries and capillaries, and then people go and try to get, stents and screws. They have heart attacks, and then they have stents and screws and all these things put in their body. Not so screws, but they do all these different, therapeutics, like taking, calcium channel blockers, and then they're synthetically vasodilating their heart, and then also that will contribute to dilated hypertrophic myopathy. And then, yes, heart failure can happen. And then they're staying away from, people that are on these protocols from the allopathic holistic are also mitigating salt and sugar and carbs and all the different processed foods from their diet to where they are now malnourished even more so, and they are fading away, expiring. So that's why it's so important to understand jelly juice. Okay, jelly juice is going to be the only thing that you have left. I mean, you're going to be forced to deal with your evolution, or you pass away very slowly or very quickly relative to your predispositions. Okay, so all the viruses in the environment and all the therapeutics are actually accelerating entropy in our society. And then when you have vitamin D deficiency because of too much melanin in your body, so now your vitamin D deficiency, you're taking vitamin D supplements that are going to force you then to absorb more calcium. When you absorb more calcium in your body, guess what it does? It clogs up your arteries and capillaries. And then you get a heart attack, or you have hypertension, and then you have to go and take calcium channel blockers to open up those channels to allow more blood to flow, but on vessels, blood vessels that aren't really prepared to do this vasoconstriction, vasodilation on a forced maneuver, which is what these therapeutics are doing to people. So there's certain segments of the population that are very, that have an imbalance in their melanin. And so they either have too much melanin, which is forcing them to take vitamin D supplements, causing hypertension, or they don't have enough melanin to where then too much sun gets in and causes stress on the body, and it causes then deterioration because there isn't a balance of the right hormones. And so that's why certain cultures are going to expire very quickly, or going to be so susceptible to the complications of a new virus that they won't have it within them to fight it off and be able to evolve. And so this is like super scary, but you're seeing it. Watch your friends and family that are going to go get the mass therapeutics. Some of them will survive with, or will deal with, the vaccine, and they won't have too much adverse reaction right away. But then, give it a day, give it 2 weeks, give it a year, and then bam, they are into organ failure. See, you can't not take jelly juice seriously, because jelly juice now is forcing everyone to either face their evolution or pass away in the system. I don't care how successful you are in your business. I don't care how much you're like an anti-vaxxer. If you're not doing jelly juice, you're going to be susceptible to the viruses in the environment that are going to cause more agonist antibodies that's going to then coagulate and clog up your arteries and capillaries, and then cause you to be now a type A, a type B, type AB positive. Okay? Now is not the time to be so focused on your business, trying to be successful, when you have a microcosmic battle in your body. Some of you have breadwinners that are, maybe they seem to be kind of immune to everything, and then one day they get hit with so much of the viral upload, they're going to have organ failure, and you're like, dude, what the hell? I thought we had time. I thought you were pretty healthy. Because even someone that's relatively healthy, okay, can go down several notches very quickly. And so, you can't not take this seriously. Those of you on your activist bandwagon, you're all anti-vax, are not even promoting jelly juice, and you're probably not even doing jelly juice. Hey, Inky, you're probably not even doing jelly juice. And if you are, you're not telling anybody because you're too busy with your business. You're too busy with trying to be successful in, out there in the world, but you don't realize there's a battle that's not out there. It's in here. It's inside. The battle's inside. And it goes after the weakest link. And so it doesn't matter if you don't take the vaccine or if you take the vaccine. If you already have the predispositions to not be able to handle new viruses in the environment, and you think your little holistic remedies are going to do, no, they're going to make things worse for you. And that's what I try to impress upon those that used to belong to my group, that used to do the jelly juice, used to be all like, on the bandwagon with me when I was an anti-vaxxer. And now I don't hear anything from you. You know why? Because you're too busy being an anti-vax person. You're too busy telling everybody, oh yeah, everything is poison. Vaccines are poison. This is poison. That's poison. But you're not helping your body with the J juice. You're not telling anybody about the J juice. And then guess what? You don't know. You're rolling the dice. And so is your breadwinner. Every single time your breadwinner goes out there and does whatever they do, they're rolling the dice. And it's playing Russian roulette. If you're not doing jelly juice, you're playing Russian roulette with your family. Okay? This is so much bigger than your activist stances out there. This is so much bigger than left versus right. This is so much bigger than Democrat, Republican, or New World Order, whatever. Now you have to pay attention to your own biochemistry. And how are you and your breadwinner, whoever it is helping you support you staying afloat. Now it's time for you to really get freaking serious. I can't impress upon this. I mean, this right now, I'm just kind of like tired because I am putting so much energy into formulating sentences so you freaking get it. Because I can't write the way I speak, or else, you can't. There has to be a very specific, organized process when it comes to writing a book with so much information. So if you're listening to this transmission, you're getting the benefit of some very fast information that you can apply to yourself right now. And if you're not, then yeah, who knows if your breadwinner and you are going to survive the next pandemic. And it's going to be a doozy because people are not freaking prepared. They think they have all this time. Oh, I bought all this time. I did G-Juice like a year ago, so I should be okay. And then you stop doing it and you're going back to all of what you usually do, and your body is now progressively accumulating agonist antibodies that are linked to cancer, as well as, antagonist antibodies that are doing search and destroy. And then one day you don't wake up because all of those evolutionary processes happen when you're sleeping. That's why people pass away early in the morning or overnight, is because they couldn't survive the evolutionary process overnight when their body is trying to recalibrate. And this is why smoking pot and doing all the different, herbs and extracts and therapeutics and whatever else is going to work against you in this environment. So you might be young enough right now to withstand a few of the viruses, but I'm telling you, it's going to get even more aggressive because there's so many mutations and so many variants that you're not even prepared for. And not getting the vaccine or getting the vaccine is going to make it worse because you still don't have the preparation for it. And if you're not promoting jelly juice in some way, shape, or form, or talking about it to anyone, then you're not giving anybody in your world any option. And that's what's really sad, is that not enough of you are very well versed in talking about J-Juice to give people the option. And I know that you're scared that it's hard to talk, but I'm telling you, even just keeping it in the conversation on either a daily, weekly, or something, give your friends and family the opportunity of this, whatever it is. Okay? But yeah, I mean, I'm scared for my husband. I'm scared for the people that I know around me. And some are going to have more like I said, you may survive the first pandemic, the first wave. You may survive the second wave. But remember, all of that is all that is being compounded. And if you're so adverse to jelly juice, you don't like the taste of it, you don't want to do the waterfalls and all of that, well then, you know what? You're rolling the dice. It's fun to be anesthetized. It's fun to pretend that this doesn't exist. It's fun to play with your hormones and chase pleasure and try to hide from it. But I'm telling you, you cannot hide from something that is right there with you. You can't be in a bubble. There's no way you can be in a bubble in body, mind, and spirit. But some of you act as if you are in a bubble, like nothing is going to affect you until it does. And then by that time, it's too late. How do you pull yourself out of, 90% death? That's it's crazy. So anyways, I just wanted to just give a little, brief synopsis about Dustin Diamond, because I grew up watching Saved by the Bell. 44 years old. I'm going to be 47 February 5th. 47. I don't feel 47. I don't even feel like I'm 30. I feel like I'm 30 or 20 or whatever, with the knowledge of someone who's in their 50s and 60s and 70s. But that's because I pursue knowledge. I pursue progressively getting better and then accelerating getting better as far as my knowledge, my ability to articulate very key points, to be able to learn from my mistakes. But if you are, putting your head in the sand and you're finding every distraction in the world, I'm telling you, It's going to be a rude awakening when that variant of a virus is going to be so mutated and you get exposed to that. Will you have what it takes? And so no matter where you are, if you just had a heart attack a year ago, if you have been diagnosed with cancer, you can still survive this. You don't have to be walking so carefully, afraid that you're going to be exposed to it. You can actually face that evolution head on without the fear. But yeah, you're going to have to face all of your predispositions. No, I'm not going to kid you. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not going to be fun. It's going to be downright scary. Some of you will experience other secondary heart attacks, but you'll survive them until your heart finally repairs itself. But that is the fear that I'm up against, is those that have already experienced heart attacks and strokes and cancer, and they don't want to feel the same symptoms. But, you know, when you do the Jilly Juice, you're going to have to feel everything that you've ever tried to run away with. You're going to feel everything that you try to put a remedy towards. And when you survive those specific events without medical intervention because you're on the Jilly Juice, you have just reached a milestone. It's not going to be smooth sailing, but at least you know you'll survive the evolutionary symptoms because you're giving your body salt, sugar, meat, milk, cheese, fruits, vegetables, carbs. You're not playing the diet game. You're not playing the, oh God, you know, I can't eat this, I can't eat that, I can't do this, I can't do that. Because if you are, then you're going to be progressively and then accelerating your entropy. And so this is why I do what I do. This is why I spend so much time. This is why I don't care what people think of me. I know people think of me as stupid and weird and out there and all this. I understand that. I don't really care because I ultimately want to survive all that what's going on. And when you're watching your friends and family drop like flies around you, what is it going to take for you to wake up? Or, hey, is that what you expect? Is that what you're programmed to expect? Is that you're going to die someday? So go out with a bang. Ooh, hip, hip, hooray. I had a great life. Who wants to live forever? Forever is theoretical. It's about surviving and thriving in your environment, despite the changes in your environment. And if that's not what you want, then I guess, then why even do the medical, therapeutics? Because your intention with the medical therapeutics is to prolong your life. But it ain't prolonging your life, it's actually shortening your life. So maybe it's time to get your body, mind, and spirit aligned to where you actually promote life in your body, not freaking death. And then pass that along to your kids so they can have a chance to have an amazing freaking life. Not wonder when their predispositions are going to rear its ugly head and then be faced with having a major decline in their health. This is so freaking scary. It's unreal. But I warned you guys 6 months ago, it's going to get freaking insane. And with the vaccines and then with all the different mutations, it's going to be even more insane because it's going to be even more aggressive, especially if you already have major predispositions. So good luck to you. But I'm telling you, if you're alive, you have the chance to pull yourself out of whatever shallow or deep grave that you've dug yourself over the last 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years. And if life isn't important to you, then who cares? Why even do the medical therapeutics, right? Right? If life isn't important to you, why even go to the hospital? Why even do that? Why take your prescription medications if life isn't important to you? So, good luck. Bye.